Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer workout for you using the dowel. So go ahead, grab a dowel for props. I have the dowel that has the eyelets in it so you can connect them to your straps. So if you do have straps that hook on your reformer and hook off of it, you can always unhook your straps and hook the straps to where your eyelets are. If you don't have them, you can just do it like I am, and I'm just gonna hook my straps or place my loops around my dowel. We're gonna do lots of arms and abs today with our dowel series. I'm gonna start on 2 heavy springs, and we're gonna start with some arm work. It is going to be a little heavier than where I'm usually at, just because I want to work my arms a little more. So if you would like to go lighter, you can go 1 heavy and 1 medium spring. But again, I'm gonna go 2 heavy springs just to make it a little heavier for my arms today. If you want it lighter, 1 heavy, 1 medium. Foot bars can just stay where they're at. Headrests are gonna be all the way down, and we're gonna sit on our reformers facing the straps. When we sit down, if your legs don't fit comfortably through your shoulder blocks, if you have shoulder blocks that rotate, you can go ahead and rotate them. If you don't, you can always crisscross your legs. We're gonna grab these straps off the pegs, and then once we grab a hold of our straps, it is up to you if you go long loops or short loops through your dowel. The long loops will be lighter, your short loops will be a little heavier. Now, again, if you have straps that can hook on and off, and you have the dowel that has the eyelets, you can unhook your straps and hook your ropes onto the dowel. Now, if yours do hook and you're gonna hook it onto the dowel, it is gonna be a lot heavier than where you're at with your straps. So if you do have that, you're just gonna go a little lighter than where I am at today. So again, if you're through the loops like me, long loops are light, short loops are heavy. If you have the dowel that has the eyelets, I'm gonna have my straps on the inside of the hardware, hands on the outsides of the hardware. If you just have a plain old dowel, you can have the straps about like a foot or so away from each other, about shoulder distance away, and then hands are gonna be wide onto your dowel. The dowel is gonna be lifted about chest height. We're sitting up nice and tall on top of your sits bones. On an exhale, I'm gonna bend my elbows wide to pull the dowel into my chest. And then I'm gonna inhale, extend my arms back out. So again, I'm gonna exhale to pull wide, and I'm inhaling to extend. And when I pull in, I'm going to think about pinching my shoulder blades together. And then I'm inhaling just to extend my arms out nice and long. And when you're sitting on your reformer to start, it does not matter how much space you have behind you, just because we're not starting with abs. Again, we're gonna start with those arms. Exhale, pull, pinch. Inhale again as we extend the arms out just nice and long, aiming for that dowel to go right into our chest when we pull. And then again, inhale to extend. Let's go for 4 more. Again, you can change your springs, you can change your straps at any point. For 2. And then last one. All right, now once we extend the arms, we're gonna pause. I'm gonna flip my palms up to the ceiling, and then we're gonna go into bicep curls. The dowel does not have to be as high. I'm going to exhale, curl into my bicep curl. Inhale, extend, exhale, curl. Inhaling as I extend. My elbows are gonna stay in about the same spot the entire time, and I'm just bending and extending. Exhale to curl, inhale back. Again, sitting up just nice and tall. We're evenly weighted throughout both of our sits bones. And I'm imagining that if my spine's up against a wall, it's just staying flat up against that wall. I'm scooping into my abs, so they're drawing into my back. Curl, extend. Let's go for 4, 2, and then last one. All right, then once we extend, we're gonna pause. I'm going to take off 1 of my heavy springs. So now we're just on 1 single heavy spring. So if you're on a heavy and a medium, take off your medium spring, 1 heavy spring. Hands are gonna go wide again. Palms are rotated down to the floor. We're sitting up nice and tall. On an exhale, the arms are gonna stay long. We're gonna lift them up overhead, and then we're gonna return the arms back down. So we're gonna exhale, lift our arms overhead, and then we're inhaling to return back down. We are still sitting up nice and tall, again, right on our sits bones. Our abs are in to our backs, and we're not leaning back when the arms go up. And every time I lift my arms, I'm gonna think my shoulders are staying down out of my ears, getting right into those deltoids and our traps. Up and down. Let's go for 3. And then last one, lift and lower. Then once we return, we can give our shoulders next a little bit of a roll. We're staying on this one heavy spring. Now, make sure you have at least a palm's width away from you in the back of your carriage so that we can move into our roll downs. You can have more than that, just no less than that. Legs are going to stay long. I'm just gonna keep through my short loops. It's up to you if you do long or short. Palms are still rotated to the floor. I'm going to inhale, tuck my pelvis, send my tailbone towards my heels, and roll myself down into my sacrum. So lowest part of my back, right above my tailbone. And then on an exhale, I'm gonna scoop into my abdominals to sit up nice and tall. Again, I'm gonna inhale, tuck my pelvis, roll down into my sacrum. Eyes are gonna stay looking towards my legs, my core, and then exhale, scooping into our abdominals as we sit up nice and tall. Inhale, tuck the pelvis, roll down, arms stay long. Exhale, scoop into those abdominals as we come all the way back up. Just being mindful, when I roll back, I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm trying to get my low back flat. Eyes are always looking to your legs, your core. They're not looking up to the ceiling. And then we're exhaling to come all the way back up. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, tuck, roll back. Exhale, scoop into the abdominals, come back up for 2. And then last one, inhale, tuck, roll back. Make sure those arms stay long. Exhale, scoop into our abdominals, come back up. All right, once we come back up, we can give our shoulders next a little bit of a roll. We're gonna go back down. The next time we go down, we're gonna go back into our chest pulls 8 times. So I'm gonna keep my palms rotated to the floor. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, roll to a spot that I feel comfortable holding. Stay here. We're gonna exhale, bend our elbows wide to pull the dowel in. Inhale, extend, pull, and extend, elbows wide. Inhale, again, as we extend those arms out, pinching the shoulder blades together. We have 3 more, keeping that tuck of the pelvis, wrists are long. Last one, and then we're coming all the way back up. We flip our palms up to the ceiling, bicep curls. Tuck the pelvis, roll ourselves back down, hold here. Exhale, curl into a bicep curl, inhale, extend. Again, the roll down is up to you, how far you feel comfortable. Just make sure that you're tucking your pelvis. You're really scooping into those abs so you're not overworking your low backs here. We again have 3. And 1, coming all the way back up, sitting up nice and tall. Okay, last thing are the arms going overhead. Again, range of motion is up to you, how far back you go. Range of motion of the arms is up to you. We're tucking our pelvis, rolling down to a spot that we can hold. We exhale to lift overhead. We inhale to return. Exhale, lift, inhale, return. Again, really keep that nice tuck of the pelvis. When those arms go up, the shoulders are trying to stay down out of our ears. I'm halfway there. 4. Scoop into those abs. 2, really feel those deltoids working. 1, and then coming all the way back up. Okay, feel free to give your shoulders next a roll. We're gonna go into some oblique work next. I'm just gonna stay with my short loops. Again, up to you if you stay with long or short. Shorter, just a tiny bit easier for your core. Long loops are a little more challenging for your core, but the short loops are a little more challenging for your arms. Long loops are a little easier for your arms. So you decide which one you want. Arms are gonna be long. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, roll slightly to the right side. So the right side of the butt goes down. My left hip is just lifting ever so slightly up. And then I'm gonna exhale to come back up. Then I'm gonna go left. Inhale, tuck, roll to the left. and then exhaling as we come back up to the right, and then exhaling as we come back up. So again, when we go right and left, the opposite side can lift slightly up, but I don't want your butt to lift completely up off of the carriage. So just ever so slightly, you can let that pelvis lift. Exhale as we come up. Inhale as we tuck and roll back. Now we're gonna go for one more on each side. Tuck, roll to the right. Exhale up, tuck, roll to the left. Exhale up, then we pause. Then we're gonna add in that row of the dowel. So I'm gonna go to the right side, tuck, roll, hold here, stay in that little hinge to the right. We pull wide for 8, we extend, pull 7, keep that rotation to the right. The elbows go wide, the dowel goes right into the chest. 3, 2, 1, and then we're coming up center, right to the left, tuck, roll left, pull for 8, extend. Again, that right butt can be slightly lifted off of the carriage. We have 4, 2, and 1, and then we're gonna come all the way back up and center. Feel free to give your shoulders next roll. Now we're staying on this one heavy spring. We're gonna rotate just to the side, does not matter what side. And then if you did rotate your shoulder blocks, you can go ahead and rotate them back to their homes. Okay, long loops, we're gonna stay with arms. Long loops are lighter for your arms, short loops are heavier for your arms. We're gonna kneel on our reformers, facing our foot bars. When you kneel, you can either take the straps off if you need to, or you can keep it on like me. I'm going to have my feet up against the shoulder blocks, and I'm just gonna take the dowel out in front of me. When I take it out in front of me, I'm just gonna rest on my stomach right now. Hands are gonna go to the outsides of the straps, palms are flipped up to the ceiling. Again, long loops light, short loops heavy. We're gonna stabilize from legs, glutes, and core. We're gonna kneel nice and tall. We're exhaling to reach the dowel out chest height. We bring it back in towards our rib cage. So we reach chest height, we bring it back towards our rib cage, like right around, again, our belly button. So we're going up at a slight diagonal and then back down at that slight diagonal. We exhale to reach out. We inhale to come back. The shoulders are staying down and back. Again, I'm stabilizing from my legs, glutes, and my core. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. We have 3. Really feel those biceps, deltoids. And 1. Okay, when we come back in, again, I'm just gonna rest my dowel on my belly button, rotate the palms to the floor. We're gonna bring it chest height this time, right towards our sternum. Ready? We exhale to push straight out chest height. We bring it straight in. Exhale out. Inhale back. Again, still working into our biceps, deltoids. Feeling my traps engaging a little more here. Push and wide. Exhale out and wide. Again, if you need that lighter, go to your long loops. If that's still too heavy, you can always change to a medium spring. 4, 3, and 1. Okay, once we come back in, again, I'm gonna rest on my belly button. Hands are gonna go on the insides of the straps. Palms are still rotated to the floor. We're gonna take that dowel behind our head this time. Elbows should be right in towards like your temples. I'm gonna hinge slightly forward. Tricep extensions, we extend, we bend, we extend, we bend. That dowel should rotate nicely on those straps for you. Again, I'm hinging ever so slightly forward so I don't get pulled back. I'm stabilizing still from my legs, glutes, and core. I'm really feeling my triceps engage here. 4, 3, wrists need to stay long. 2, and 1. Okay. Bring it back down. You can sit your butt back. We're gonna take off just the left strap, and then we're gonna hang that strap up. Now, when we take the left strap off, I'm gonna switch to my long loop for this one. I'm staying on a heavy spring. Again, If this is too heavy, go to a medium spring. I'm gonna rotate to the right side of the room. And then when I rotate to the right, my right leg is gonna be up against the shoulder blocks. My strap is gonna be right next to my right hand. My left hand is gonna go wide as well. I'm gonna have the dowel parallel to the floor, and without rotating my hips, I'm gonna rotate my torso to the right side, and I will have slack in my strap to begin. I'm gonna pull the dowel into my chest, elbows are wide, and then we're gonna rotate to our foot bar. Try to rotate again from your rib cage and not your hips, so your hips are staying parallel to the wall. On in front of you, chest press again. We exhale to push, we bend wide, we push, we bend wide. We stay in the rotation to the left. 4, really feeling that right arm. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, rotate back to the right side, and then we're gonna take the strap off, hang it up, and then we're gonna go ahead, rotate to the other side. Grab that strap. Again, I use the long loop. Feel free to use long or short. It's gonna be right next to my left hand. Dowel should be parallel to the floor, rotated from our rib cage to the left. I'm gonna bend wide to pull into my chest, rotate to the foot bar, hold. We push out for 8, bend wide, 7. Keep that rotation. Make sure that that left shoulder stays down out of your ear. A lot of work in that left arm. 2 more, and 1. Okay, rotate back to the center. Go ahead, take that strap off, hang it on up. Now, set your dowel just off to the side. We'll use it a little later. We're gonna stay with this one heavy spring. And then if you do want to make this a little easier, we're gonna do some planks. You can always go 1 heavy, 1 light spring. We're gonna stand on our carriage facing our foot bar. Hands are going right onto our foot bars, and then I'm gonna step my right foot back to the shoulder block, step my left foot back to the shoulder block, push my legs out, and I'm gonna hold my plank. From my plank, I'm gonna push my arms away, and I'm gonna hold here. So don't move, keep your arms out. Arms stay. We're gonna tuck the pelvis, hike the hips to bring the carriage in with the legs. We push back out. Again, the arms are not moving. I tuck, I pike, and then I'm pushing back out. My abs are drawing in to my back as I lift my hips up. So scooping into those abs to lift on an exhale, and then inhale back out. Exhale, tuck, pike, scoop to lift. Inhale, return. Let's go. 3, and 1. Okay, lift the hips again, drop the heels. Feel free if you need to step forward, you can. And then if you just want to give yourselves a little stretch back, you can always do a nice little stretch back. Okay, we're gonna take our heels back up onto our shoulder blocks, nice and high. Push the carriage out and hold here. Now the carriage stays still. My pelvis is going to move for this one. I'm gonna exhale, take my right knee to my left elbow, rotate my hips. Inhale, set the right foot down. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale down, exhale, rotate. Inhale back. Again, trying to keep the carriage still. I'm letting my hips rotate as I bend the knee into the opposite elbow. And extend, exhale, pull, rotate. Inhale back, right elbow, left knee, left elbow, right knee. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck, lift, drop the heels, step off to the side. Okay, we're gonna go to 2 heavy springs for some glute work. I wanna make it a little heavier for myself today, so I'm gonna add on an extra light spring with it. So I have 2 heavies, 1 light. If you just wanna go 2 heavy springs, you can. We're gonna lie ourselves down with our dowels again. And then when you get down with the dowel, grab your straps off the pegs. Now it's up to you, long loops again or short loops. Long loops are lighter with the dowel, short loops are heavier, and I want this heavier for my legs, so I'm gonna go ahead and go short. Again, I have a dowel with hardware, so I'm gonna go straps on the inside, hands on the outside, feet go onto our dowel. Now, once we get our feet on, I'm gonna have them zipped together, heels, arches, or toes, whatever feels best for the pressure in your foot. And then the legs are gonna go to a little lower than a 45-degree angle. Now, neutral spine here, bend both knees into a tabletop position. The right foot stays on the dowel. The left knee just goes off the dowel into a tabletop. The dowel should be right underneath your left calf. We're gonna exhale, push our right leg out for a single leg squat. Bend to come in, exhale, press. Inhale, bend. And this entire time, I am thinking about holding my neutral spine. It's an exhale to push away and an inhale to bend to come back in, squeezing the glute as we push out. My pelvis is just staying nice and still. I have my hands on my hips just to make sure that it's staying still. It's an inhale to bend and an exhale as we push back out. Again, squeeze the glute. That strap is gonna help keep your knee in the correct alignment here. Bend and exhale, stretch. Bend and stretch. 4, 2, all right, last one, and then we can bring the left foot back onto the dowel, both knees back into a tabletop position. The left foot stays on, right knee tabletop. Again, the heel should be like right over that dowel. Neutral spine, we press out and in with our left leg. Squeeze the glute. Adjust your foot on the dowel as needed. Again, I'm just gonna take my hands onto my pelvis, making sure that my pelvis is staying nice and still. The straps keeping my knee in the correct alignment here. Exhale, push. Inhale back again, squeeze your glutes. So it's not just your quads and your hamstrings working. We are getting that glute max to fire up as well. Bend and exhale as we stretch. Five more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, both feet can go back on the dowel. Legs can go straight up to the ceiling. Low back can be flat. We can just give ourselves a quick stretch here. Then we're gonna bend the knees, take the hands back onto the dowel. Knees go in a tabletop position. Now, give the dowel one press down to your thighs. See how that feels. If it's too heavy, you can always change the long loops. And then if that's still too heavy, you can always come up and lighten your load for your springs. Hands are gonna be on the outsides of the hardware, still in our neutral spine. Dowel's right over my chest, knees are in a tabletop position. I exhale to press the dowel down to my thighs. I inhale to return down to my thighs and then return, exhaling as I press. Inhale, return, drawing my abs in. Now I'm gonna add in my legs just to get a little more range of motion. So as I press my arms down, I reach my legs out. I inhale, return, press and extend. Inhale, return, and every time I reach away, my bra line stays heavy and my abs are drawing in to my back. Exhale, press, extend. Inhale, return again, drawing the abs in and up as I reach my legs out. We're gonna go for 2 and 1. Now the legs stay, just the arms lift, just the arms lower. Keep those legs long. Abs are into our backs. Legs stay zipped together. for 3. Feel those lats. 2 and 1. When I reach my arms up, I'm gonna bend my knees, relax my feet, and I can just give myself a nice little stretch here. Okay, we're moving into obliques. Do not worry about your neutral spine for this one. Just like when we were doing our roll downs, it is fine if the opposite hip lifts slightly up off the carriage. Again, I don't want you to stress too much about neutral spine for this. So if the opposite hip lifts up, that is fine. Arms are gonna stay nice and long. Dowel is right over your chest. Knees go up into a tabletop position. We're gonna start to the right side. I'm gonna press the arms down. I'm gonna nod, curl, rotate to my right side. I'm gonna inhale, return, then we're gonna go left, curl, rotate, and return. Now, if you want to sway your knees slightly to the opposite side, so when I go left, I'm swaying my knees slightly to the right to get a little more range of motion. You can do a little sway of your knees side to side just to work a little more range of motion. Exhale, inhale. Again, if that's too heavy, you can change your straps or you can change your springs. I'm gonna go for 3, 2, and then last one to the left. And return. Okay, once we come back, we can give ourselves a little stretch, and then we're gonna do one more thing with our obliques. Arms are back up to the ceiling. Again, dowels over our chest, knees up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. I'm gonna press, curl, rotate to the right side, hold here, pressure in both straps. Inhale, reach the legs out. Exhale, pull out and in. I'm still pushing into my dowel, holding my curl. My wrists and my arms are long. 3, pull in, 2, in, 1, in. Return down. Feel free to give it a nice little stretch. Same thing to the left side. Again, if you want more range of motion, knees sway slightly to the right. Knees in tabletop. I'm gonna press, curl, rotate to the left side, hold. Inhale out, exhale back. Inhale, reach, exhale, pull. Again, arms, wrists stay long. Hold those curls, legs out, exhale in. I'm engaging my obliques to pull my legs back in for 3, 2, 1, and return. Okay, we're gonna take our straps off. We can hang them back up onto the pegs. Actually, don't hang your straps up, but just set your dowel to the side and then take your long loops and put them right onto your feet. Okay, quick feet and straps. Legs are gonna be up just as high as we can hold our neutral spine. Feet are gonna be parallel with each other. I'm just gonna lower my legs down towards my springs, open them wide out to the sides to circle around and back up. I'm exhaling to pull down, inhaling to circle around and back up. Again, holding my neutral spine the entire time. Movement just comes right from the head of the femur in the hip socket. Going down, around and up, so I really can open up and stretch my hips. Okay, last one. When we come up, pause, and then we're gonna reverse. We're gonna open the legs wide, press them down and around, zip them together, and then hinging at the hips to come back up. We wanna feel our adductors firing every time we zip the legs together. Okay, let's go for 2 and 1. All right, now if you do have your headrests up, they're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna move into our skips. Legs are gonna stay zipped together. Mine are about, again, a little lower than a 45-degree angle. The pelvis is gonna lift, that's why the headrests need to be down. I'm gonna start by bending my left knee. As I do so, my right leg goes straight up to the ceiling, so I keep tension in both straps. As I lift my legs up, my pelvis is gonna lift up off the carriage. I'm gonna push into both feet to articulate my spine down, and then I'm gonna end up with both legs again to about that lower than 45. They're long, and then we're gonna go right knee bend, left leg goes up as we lift, and then we articulate the spine down when we push through our feet. So I want you to think you're rolling up one vertebrae at a time, you're rolling down one vertebrae at a time. You're keeping tension in both straps the entire time. We can inhale to lift, and we can exhale to lower. The range of motion is up to you. Again, roll up and roll down. Inhale up, exhale to push back down. We're gonna go for 5 more. Again, I want an articulation up, not like plopping up and down. Okay, last one. When we come down, we're gonna pause at the bottom. I'm going to take my straps off of my feet, and then once I take my straps off of my feet, I'm going to sit to the left side of my reformer, and then we're gonna grab our dowels once more. Now when we sit off to the left side, I'm gonna go onto one heavy, one light spring. We're gonna stand again, left side, dowel, take the strap that's right next to you into your left hand. Long loop is lighter, short loop is heavier. We're gonna go long or short loop through the dowel. Hands are gonna be nice and wide. I'm gonna step my left foot forward, my right foot back. I'm gonna bend both knees to sink into a little lunge. Ready, back into chest pulls. We go wide, extend, wide, extend. Now, the further forward you step, the lighter this is. The further back you step, the heavier this is. Again, long loops are short up too. Both knees are staying bent. We're staying in a nice neutral spine. We pull wide, extend for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend, and then go ahead, stand up. Now, hang that strap back up onto the peg. We can set our dowel off to the side. Before we walk around to the other side, we're gonna do some scooters. We're facing the foot bar this time. Right foot is back on the shoulder block closest to us. Left foot is on the floor. The hip should be like right over our ankle. Both hands are on the left side of the foot bar. My right knee is lifted off of the carriage. I'm gonna bend my left knee slightly. When I do so, my butt sinks back towards my heel. Again, in a neutral spine, flat back, we're gonna exhale, push the carriage out with the right leg, bend in, out with the right, in. I'm digging my heel into the shoulder block, and I'm squeezing my glutes, drawing my abs into my back. If you want it heavier, you can always change that spring load. The only thing moving is that right leg to go out and in. I'm scooping into my abs, keeping that left knee slightly bent. Push, resist, push, resist. Let's go 4, squeeze your glutes, 2, last one. Now we're gonna hold all the way out. I'm gonna bend, come halfway in, all the way out, halfway in, all the way out. Again, the only thing moving is that right leg. Halfway in, all the way out, scooping into my abs. 4, 3, control it in and out. 2, last one. Now we hold at a halfway point, little pulses of the leg and not the pelvis. 7, 6, again, keep that pelvis still. 3, 2, 1, out and in. Okay, walk around to the other side. We're still on that heavy light spring. Grab your dowel, take the strap off of the peg, and then we're gonna go ahead, again, long loop, light, short loop, heavy. If you step further back, it is heavier. Further forward, it's lighter. Right foot forward, left foot back. Nice wide stance, bend both knees, neutral spine, abs are in. We pull wide, extend, pull wide, extend, exhale, pull, inhale, extend. Keep your head back in space. It doesn't jet forward. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then extend. Okay, take that strap off. You can set the dowel off to the side, rotate, face your foot bar. The left foot goes back to the shoulder block, right foot is on the floor when I'm standing. Hip is gonna be like right over my ankle. Again, if you want this heavier, you can always change your spring load. We're gonna bend our right knee slightly, our butt sinks back slightly. We push out and in. Again, the only thing moving is that left leg. Abs are in. Push, resist, push, resist. Dig your heel into the shoulder block and squeeze your glutes. Exhale, inhale. For 4, 2, okay, last one, hold all the way out. Halfway pulses for 8, all the way out, halfway in, all the way out. Again, control in, control out, control in, control out. Squeeze your butt. 3, abs are in. 2, 1. Okay, now we hold halfway, little pulses from the leg, the pelvis stays nice and still. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push all the way out, all the way back in. Okay, set your knee down, take both knees onto your carriages. I'm gonna take my feet through my headrest, knees open wide, hands are wide on the foot bar. I'm gonna push my carriage out with my arms, drop my chest down in between my arms. My hips are gonna stay lifted for a second. Then from here, I'm gonna drop my hips to my heels so my carriage will come in a little further. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, from here, hands can go about shoulder distance away, so a little closer towards each other. I'm gonna take my right hand, I'm gonna thread it underneath my body. The palm is gonna be flipped up. I'm gonna rotate to the left side of the room. And if I can get my right shoulder down, I'm gonna try to get my right shoulder down. My left arm is pushing the carriage out. And we're just holding this stretch again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. If this is too much on the knees, you can always stand on the floor and you can have your arm on the foot bar standing on the floor rather than kneeling on your carriages. Come center, take your right hand on, thread that left arm under. The palm should be flipped up to the ceiling. Again, I'm pushing out with my right arm, trying to get my left shoulder down. We're taking a deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. All right, one more deep inhale, one more deep exhale. Okay, we're gonna come back center. I'm gonna take both hands back onto the foot bar, drop my chest down in between my arms, hold that stretch. Now hips can either be low, or if you want to, you can push the carriage out and drop your chest down with your hips lifted. That is up to you, whatever feels good for this stretch. Okay, then we're gonna lift our chest out to bring the carriage in. Hands are gonna go nice and wide. I'm gonna take my feet against my shoulder blocks. We're gonna push the knees out. I'm gonna push my hips forward and just reach my chest and my arms. I'm gonna pull the carriage in just a little further with my arms. Hold this nice little extension. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Fine if you overextend in your back right here. I just want you to get a nice stretch. Okay, then send your hips back. You can sit off to the sides. We are all finished with that dowel workout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today.